Hey everyone, it's your buddy, it's your pal, it's Karnak, Star Wars Armada Explained. Thanks for joining me. After the very long video that was the swivel mount batteries, this video and my next video are going to be shorter. We're going to be looking at the Separatist Commander Kraken today, not to be confused with the Rebel Commander Kraken. Okay, two separate Krakens. This Kraken is for the Separatist Commander, and then next week's video is going to be on Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then the video after that I'm going to do Hyperwave Signal Boost, or wave, whatever it's called. That card is super complicated, and that will be a long video. So to kind of give you an order of events for this month. But anyway, we're looking at Kraken today. Kraken, if you look at his card here, if you look at the bottom left-hand corner of his card, where's my thing at? Here we go. Excuse me. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of his card, you'll see that he is for the Separatist faction. He's 30 points. Kraken, you'll see a little dot or bullet point in front of his name, signifies that Kraken is unique. You can only ever have one Kraken in play at a time. What that means is just in the future, if there ever is a Kraken officer, Kraken is only one singular individual. You can only ever have a single Kraken. Even though he's a droid, you could just clone and make more, right? But that's just how it works in Armada. Let's read his card. It says, once per activation, while a friendly ship is attacking a ship, if another friendly ship is at close to medium range of the defender, the attacker may change one die to a face with any one icon and no other icons. So for 30 points, essentially Kraken is, if you can maneuver and get your ships within range, is essentially kind of like Intensify Firepower. It's dice correction, dice fiction, which for the Clone Wars factions, this is kind of something that they need a lot of, because especially with the starter ships, it's just kind of hard to get either rerolls or to get dice fix, or it's a little bit easier for the Separatists because of Kraken or LTT. But in a nutshell, how does the ability work? It's very similar to how Screed works for the Imperials, with some noticeable differences. So to go through, let's break down timing in part card by card. Let's just do a nutshell. How does it work? Let's say this Munificent is at long range. There we go. And I've got this Acclimator double arc from the front. So when I draw my line of sight, I can see there from yellow dot to yellow dot. I can shoot there, that's clear. From here to here, that's clear. My firing arc for both my left and front hull zones are in the front hull zone of that Acclimator. So if I want to shoot both shots into the front, I can. But Kraken doesn't work unless I have another friendly ship at close to medium range. So how do you determine if you can use Kraken's effect or not? So it needs to be a ship that is not the attacking ship. So let's put this hard cell close enough. All right. So how do we know what is close to medium range? Close range is the black circle here. The blue circle here is medium range, and red is long range. So for example, if this Munificent is trying to shoot this Acclimator, if this hard cell was just purely at long range, this ability is not going to work. You need a ship, another friendly ship at close to medium range. So if this hard cell, for example, was like this, that is close to medium range, and you would be able to utilize Kraken's effect. Now, one thing I want to point out is, how do you determine if you're within the appropriate range? Remember, you measure from closest point to closest point. That's from the plastic to plastic when determining ability like this. When it's a non-attack, you measure from the plastic base to the plastic base to determine, if that ship is in range. So, for example, if this ship was something like, nudge it over a little bit. Oh, a little bit too far. Oh, Vassal, you're so finicky. There we go. Something like that. So if we zoom in, we'll see that even though when we measure the range, it's not touching the black of the cardboard, that's okay, because in order for this card effect to work, anything that's not in a direct attack, and you're just checking whatever something's range or distance is, it's closest point to closest point. The closest point of plastic to closest point of plastic is how you're checking that. You don't measure from shield dials. Shield dials don't count for any of that. So don't measure from shield dials or the frames of the shield dials. It's the physical plastic base to the physical plastic base. Okay, so now that we've determined that we've got that medium range that we need, now when we are attacking with that Munificent, let's say we're going to shoot from our left hull zone to its front hull zone. We have a battery of 3 red die. We're going to roll our 3 red die. Oh, I forgot. I've still got this thing. Oh, no, it's perfect. Okay. Roll the 3 red die. And hey, we rolled 3 hits. But let's just say that this critical, for example, was a blank. And you're like, oh, I really want to ensure that I'm dealing 3 damage. So again, I check, I'm attacking a ship. Do I have another friendly ship at close to medium range? I check that. Yes, I do. Okay, now I can change an icon to a face with a single icon and no other icon. So that means for example, red die, remember it's got 8 sides, and there's 2 blanks, and there's 1 accuracy, and there's some hits and critical symbols, and there's also a double hit symbol on there. So you can change this, for example, to a single hit. You can change it to a side with a critical symbol. You could change it, even if you wanted to a symbol of an accuracy. That's 1 icon. What you could not do is you couldn't change it, like, for example, if you already had, like, an accuracy icon, you couldn't set it to a blank, because a blank has no icon on it, so you can't change a die to a blank side. Not that you would ever want to do that anyway. You also would not be able to change this to a double hit, because, again, that's 2 icons. It's not a single icon. Same deal, like, if you have, like, a black die, you wouldn't be able to change it to a hit crit. You would only be able to change that black die to just a single hit. So Kraken is really great for red dice. I mean, this is fantastic for red dice correction, because black dice is kind of really not where he's going to shine. Because even if you roll like 2 hits and a blank, and they've got something like an evade, you can switch something to an accuracy and either like lock a brace or lock a redirect or lock salvo. So Kraken is great for dice correction, and also just getting, an accuracy for if you need it or not. But remember, as per what Kraken's card says, this is only once per activation. So if you use it on your first attack, like we did here from our side to front, and if we go to attack from our front to its front, we roll the 2 red here at long range. And let's say if we rolled like a blank accuracy, well, you're out of luck, because you can only use Kraken once per ship activation. So it does kind of become this game of, do I use it now? Do I use it later? You kind of have to weigh the pros versus the cons of when to use Kraken. But by and large, Munificence with Link Turbo Laser Tower and Kraken, I mean, you pretty much have almost all the dice correction you could possibly need, and if you continue to not get the dice rolls that you need, that's just Star Armada. That's just the luck of the roll, You still have to have some element of RNG in there. So that's Kraken. Now, a few things I want to touch on is, again, this is once per activation, and as we know from Admiral Screed's FAQ, that this card effect can also resolve during any other ship's activation. So, for example, let's say this Acclimator is attacking this Munificent. It's that Acclimator's activation, and if you salvo with your Munificent, with the 2 red die, you would be able to utilize Kraken during the enemy ship's activation to dice correct. So let's say it attacks you, you salvo back, you roll your 2 red, you would be able to Kraken one of those into a single hit. There you go. And then that way, they're great. Kraken is fantastic with salvo. Now, remember, Kraken's effect only works on enemy ships. You cannot use it against squadrons at all, period. End of story. Can't use it against squadrons. Another thing I want to make sure I'm touching on is if you are being attacked by an enemy ship and it's double arc attacking you, again, Kraken still has that restriction of only once per activation. So the same deal like when you're attacking an enemy ship, you can only use it on one of your attacks. Even if you make 2, again, can only use it once per activation. Same deal if an enemy ship is attacking you and you double salvo back, again, you can only use Kraken once during that enemy ship's activation. And that's pretty much Kraken. Very simple, very straightforward, very easy. Again, just want to state that you can't change the die to a blank face, double hit icon, or hit crit icon. You can change it to a single hit, single critical icon, or an accuracy. So again, fantastic with red dice. Or if you want to use blue dice correction to change your blue die around at all. And again, yeah, it's just once per ship activation. And again, finally, if you don't have another ship at close to medium range, the attacking ship can't utilize this ability. And one thing actually I forgot to touch on, so I don't miss it. So for example, this Munificent is getting Kraken's ability because this hard cell is at medium range. But if this hard cell was trying to attack this Acclimator, he is not going to get the benefit of the Munificent because there is not another friendly ship at close to medium. Okay, so again, this only works if you have another ship at close to medium range that's friendly, that's not the attacker. So again, in this scenario, Munificent gets the benefit of Kraken because the hard cell is at medium range. If the hard cell was attacking, he does not get the benefit of Kraken because there is not another friendly ship at close to medium range. Okay? Alright, so that is Commander Kraken. Of course, if you have any questions, if I missed something or got something wrong, please be sure to post a question. Let me know about it. Y'all are fantastic, and hey, I'll catch you all next time.